Tax day is coming.
Oh, no.
But if you sign up for Robinhood Gold's IRA with a 3% match, you can get up to $195 for the 2023 tax year.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up at Robinhood.com/boost by tax day to get the biggest contribution match on the market. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC.
"2025, that's when Sony and Honda say that they're going to start selling vehicles. They say they're going to design, manufacture, and market the car, but Sony says they're going to create the infotainment, the mobile sensors, the image sensor. And it really sounds far away, doesn't it? Like 2025. But it's only 3 years from now. The world is going EV. I mean, Tesla was really the company that started this whole push into electric vehicles, of course. I mean, it's a true story. Before the EV Tesla actually took off, Elon Musk, that was not his real name. He was known as Lon Musk, right? He put the E there for the EV. All right, I made that up. I did. And I have to confess, because I'm America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Commando, here with you once again. And of course, it's the nation's largest show about all things digital, the most trusted source, by the way. You can find us on over 425 top stations from coast to coast, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can find us streaming as a podcast and as a webcast, whenever you want, all 3 hours. Get it over at getkim.com. There's a 30-day free trial, by the way, over at getkim.com. And a special thank you goes out to our servicemen and women who are listening on the American Forces Network Radio. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And, you know, I'm always on the lookout for great deals for you guys and gals. And if you're 55 and over, T-Mobile has an exclusive discount just for you. You get 2 lines of unlimited talk, text, and data for only $27.50 a line. And whether you need a single line or lines for family members, T-Mobile's 55 Plus rate plan is just a great choice for you. But that's not all. T-Mobile can even pay off your current phone up to $800, wow, to use on their network when you switch. So if you're like me, you just got a new phone, or you're attached to the one that you have, this is the offer for you. Don't miss out. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 or call 1-800-T-Mobile today.
Plan price with autopay, plus taxes and fees. Unlimited on T-Mobile's network. Customers on this plan may notice speeds lower than other customers, and further reduction if using over 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Typically video and standard definition. Eligible phone payoff via virtual prepaid card with qualifying credit, service, and port in. Card typically arrives in 15 days. See details.
And also, I'd like to thank GoodRx. Looking to take control of your health? Check GoodRx and finally stop overpaying for your prescription medications. Prescription prices can vary between pharmacies by as much as $100, meaning you're never sure what you're going to pay. Not only will GoodRx find you discounts, it also compares and finds the lowest prices at pharmacies near you, like CVS, Kroger, Walgreens, and more. Now you'll always know what you're paying before you get to the pharmacy. Now, even if you have insurance or Medicare, GoodRx often beats your copay price. In fact, anytime you need to fill a prescription, just checking GoodRx could save you up to 80%. It's already saved me hundreds of dollars on prescription costs. So taking control of your prescription costs is free, it's easy with GoodRx. For simple, smart savings on your prescriptions, go to goodrx.com/Kim. That's goodrx.com/Kim, goodrx.com/Kim.
GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance. In 2021, GoodRx users saved an average of 79% on retail prescription prices.
All right, let's start this hour about future tech. 5 things that you need to know that's coming down the line. Okay, video chats with your family members and friends. Are they feeling a little holo? Yes. There's a company called Portal. Wow. This is like Star Trek type stuff. They make a device the size of a vending machine that lets you beam a real-time holographic image of yourself anywhere, even thousands of miles away. The company calls it holoportation, but who wants to drop $100,000 the size of a phone booth, right? It's going to take up space in your living room. That's one's geared for companies. So now they came up with a smaller version. They're calling it the Portal M. It's a 2-foot-tall version of a box that they call the first tabletop holographic communication media device. And to make a video call to a relative, they show up as a lifelike, rather really tiny hologram inside this box. And that's not the only way the company hopes that you're going to use it. So, like maybe someday you're trying on clothes, you're watching shows, you're working out with fitness trainers, whatever it may be, is that you could be a holograph and you could be a hologram going into there. Now, it is expensive. Okay, now the big box where you can stand in that you're a full person is $100,000. The one that's little, okay, $2,000, and you can reserve one with $100 deposit. Some of this tech, the holographic tech, is really impressive. I don't know if you've seen like Whitney Houston. Okay, she's back on stage. You know, Tupac Shakur, he's on stage. Well, not really because they're dead. I mean, I saw a holographic version of Elvis. I mean, he actually put on a concert. You know, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, I'm just all shook up. All right, number 2, Google Tech wants to get you know better, controlling your gadgets by pushing buttons, using your voice, old stuff. Gestures are the new thing. Think about this. The Nest Hub from Google will pick up on body language and gestures, dismissing an alarm with just the wave of your hand. Thermostats from Nest, they light up when you come near them. And it's due to old technology called radar. Now, Google's version tech of that is called Soli, and the team behind it, of course, everything's always acronyms in computers and techs and stuff. Advanced Technology and Projects Team, or ATAP, wants to see just how far they can advance it. They want future Google gadgets to be able to identify your intentions, not your gestures. And how does it identify your intentions? By looking at your body language, responding to a quick glance, knowing if you're truly paying attention to something. Say you're watching a movie, you need to leave the room for whatever the reason. When you get up, why shouldn't that TV, whatever you're watching, streaming service, just pause automatically? If you're walking towards your front door and it's raining, so why wouldn't they just say to put an umbrella? You know, say, hey, don't you need an umbrella before you leave? So Google wants the tech to evolve to the point that it not only knows that you're there, but recognizes intent and can pick up the context. Now, these cameras are not invasive. They say that it's using sound waves. So if you're wondering why you haven't really been hearing anything about this, it's because Google has been totally flying under the radar. Number 3, faster internet, anyone? You may not know this, but the annual Mobile World Congress trade show is happening, or just happened rather, in Barcelona, Spain. It's all about mobile communications, smartphones. Members of the FCC was there. They made a big announcement about 5G, an auction of the 2.5 gigahertz mid-band spectrum coming this July. And I know what you're thinking, like, mid-band spectrum, Kim Commando, what's that? It's the part of the airwaves that not only has the ability to handle very large amounts of data, but can carry it over longer distances. This is the promises of being able to have our cars talk to each other, have our buildings talk to each other, download movies in a split second. We're talking about metaverse, VR, AR. T-Mobile already uses some of the 2.5 gigahertz band, and getting in the auction this summer no doubt expand coverage and quality of 5G service. Now, at the show, they were also talking about, are you ready for it? 6G. Yes, 5G is barely here, and now we're talking about 6G, LTE, 5G, 6G. You know, it gets to be a little much. Also makes me want to buy one of those expensive tickets into space because, after all, it's 0G. Number 4, researchers are sealing the deal. Now imagine just walking up a coastline and then you see this seal wearing a helmet, has an antenna sticking out of the top. When I saw this picture, I just knew I had to tell you about it because it's crazy stuff. Over 18 months, 8 seals in Antarctica were equipped with monitoring devices so that researchers in Japan could survey the waters under this massive ice sheet. Okay, it's too cold for people to go underneath her, so they put these sensors on the top of these seals. And it collected all this data like water depth, temperature, salt levels. As I mentioned, primarily areas where folks can't really go down themselves. And so the seals can collect data for them, but also looking at ecology, behavioral patterns, and then they started analyzing the data that the seals collected. Now, some of the highlights, they found that one of the seals went as deep as 2,300 feet. Wow, think about that. Another seal traveled 400 miles. And a couple of the seals enjoy the research so much that they decided to enroll in school with the researchers. And I'm told that their favorite subject is art. All right, finally, number 5. There's no escaping the tax man, even in the metaverse. The metaverse isn't some brand new thing that Mark Zuckerberg came up with. I mean, it's been around since Second Life, and that's where you'd create an avatar, have a second life in a virtual world. You had communities and clubs and shopping and social spaces. It's been around since 2003, but even now there's still around 1 million active users. So for the first time in its 19-year history, Second Life just announced that it's going to start charging folks in the U.S. local sales tax, right, in many of the in-game purchases. The developer cites a Supreme Court ruling from a few years ago that established states can now charge sales tax on products sold by online companies that have no physical presence in a state. Wow. Okay. So what this means is that if you're using Second Life, you're going to be getting hit with local taxes on recurring subscriptions and land fees starting at the end of this month. Now, how much you pay in taxes can vary depending on your state and whether or not cities charge additional tax on top of the states. So, wow, to avoid the taxes, some existing users are looking for places to set up a third life. All right, let's talk about your home and security. I'm a big fan of SimpliSafe's new wireless outdoor camera. It lets you see what's happening outside right from your phone and alerts you when anyone approaches, so you always know who's there. It's engineered with all the advanced tech and security features you want to help keep you and your family safe. And SimpliSafe has everything you need for a complete system, all in one place. Motion sensors detect water leaks and glass breaking, entry sensors, indoor cameras, outdoor cameras. It has everything. And it's all monitored 24/7 by professionals ready to dispatch police, firefighters, or EMTs right to your home. SimpliSafe is less than $1 a day. You can set up yourself in around 30 minutes. It really is that easy. I've done it myself. And get this, Consumer Reports, you know you can trust them. They just rated SimpliSafe the #1 DIY home security system for the year. So you can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafekim.com. No long-term contracts or commitments. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com. All right, coming up in this hour, we're going to tell you how you can attend Ivy Leagues for schools for free online, and also some surprising things that you don't know about low power mode on your phone, and also how you can earn gift cards just for searching the web. And of course, we have all your phone calls. They're on the Kim Comando Show. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder, if you ever have a question for me, I'd love to hear from you. And the best place for you to drop me a note is through the website. Head over to commando.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim, and that's where the magic happens. Mary in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You betcha. Anytime. What's going on?
Well, I wish it was a better situation, but I have a 14-year-old granddaughter who has autism.
Okay.
And she got in some trouble with social media. Some kids in her class, or kids that she knows from school, had her take inappropriate pictures.
Oh, geez. Really?
Yeah, and they're all over. Somebody told me that there was 1,000 hits, but I guess I find that hard to believe, but I'm not that good at it. And they took away her cell phone and her iPad and her computer and changed numbers and canceled things out. And my question to you, is there any more we can do? Or is it just we did and...
Well, I'm hoping that the parents of these kids know that their little cherubs did this to your granddaughter.
Well, I'm not sure how much, because when they talked about doing something, my son was more concerned about retaliation to her because she's in a mainstream school.
Oh, jeez.
And
that's so hard. Yeah, that's so hard. That's so. It's really devastating, really. I mean,
it was for me. I'm just sick about it, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's so, kids. Well, this kids can be so mean, and especially if somebody has autism, they have a hard time really figuring out when people are being unkind to them, right? I mean,
well, I kind of asked how this happened, and then my son said, well, she doesn't have a lot of friends, and somebody was paying attention to her, and that's where it just took off from.
My sister has a school in Southern California, and she only deals with kids who are ADHD, autism. She has a lot of autistic kids. And she has one teacher per student. And I'm just wondering if maybe there's a school like that around where your son lives.
Honey, you should.
And
She
so,
just accepted into a specialty private school.
oh, good.
Now,
All right.
for financial aid, because in order to send her to this school, it costs $30,000 a year.
Yeah, it's very expensive, and there's a lot of resources. My sister was telling me about, like through the state and stuff, that will actually help and do some of that placement testing and things like that. Now, if you're asking me what else can you do, are you wondering like how you can get pictures off the internet, or how else? What can I help you with?
Well, yes, probably that to me is the most important, is to get these pictures off. Or I'm not even sure if there's a video, but to get it off. If there's anything more we could do besides changing the email and her phone number, being disconnected, and that route.
Unfortunately, there's these photos and videos could be lurking everywhere. Okay.
Right.
You might have some recourse if you go down to local law enforcement, because there is the Child Online Protection Act, and to see if there's anything that they could facilitate with. I'm not sure that they could, but it's a cyber crime that has been committed, especially because she's underage. She's only 14 years old. I'm not sure. These pictures could be anywhere. They could be on the kids' Snapchat accounts, TikTok. They could be hiding on their phones, and it's really hard, because once you get something on the internet, this, it's virtually impossible to get it off, right? And these are not going to be turning up inside any type of search. So that's why I would try to see if there was any way you could go to the parents with these kids and say, you know what, do us a favor, and can, it was a mistake. She's autistic. Obviously, she was taken advantage of. And I mean, if I were a parent and you came to me, I'd be like, I would tell my son or daughter, give me your device now, and you're going to be grounded, and I need to see I'm going to go through everything, and I'm going to delete it myself. Okay, so I don't know but not every parent is proactive like that, right?
Right.
I wish I had a better answer, that there was some repository that you could go to and it could delete it, but I don't know all the different places that it gone. I don't know where this photo has went in this video. I don't know if it's on OnlyFans. I don't know if it's on a porno site. I don't know. And you don't know either.
No,
right?
We don't.
And so that's the problem. And that's why if there was something we could do by getting the parents involved, and then maybe through the parents we can figure out where these kids disseminated this, and then try to get back whatever we could for your daughter. And I'm so glad that she's going to a special needs school, because that's the best place for her. Mary, if I have any additional ideas, I'm certainly going to reach out, make sure that I have your phone number. And thank you so much for your call today. This portion of the show has been brought to you by CarShield. Don't you wish fixing your car was so simple? Cars today have so much technology. They have more tech than the first spaceship that landed on the moon. It's just guaranteed, like, something will break. I love my car. I don't want to have to replace it even now. I mean, have you looked at the prices of used cars? Wow. That's why I have a protection plan through CarShield. When I need a repair, I choose the mechanic, and CarShield administrators, they just take care of the rest. They even provide rental car options, roadside assistance, and trip reimbursement, all at no extra cost. Getting coverage is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, you're going to contact CarShield for your free quote. 2, tell them all about your vehicle. 3, choose the type of protection that you need. So whether your car has 5,000 or 150,000 miles, CarShield has options that fit your budget. Get coverage today. Go to carshield.com/Kim or call 800-391-8888 to save 10%. That's carshield.com/Kim or the phone number 800-391-8888 to save 10%. A deductible may apply. All right, just a little tip that I'd like to pass along about gift cards, because so many people have been sending me emails and questions over the years about gift cards, especially it seems like over the last 6 months. So how would you like to earn gift cards whenever you search the web? There's a simple way to make money when you're doing something that you already do. You probably know that Microsoft has its own Google type search site. It's called Bing. So in order to entice people to use Bing over Google, Microsoft has this rewards program that gives you points every single time you do a search. Whenever you have enough points for a gift card, Microsoft sends it to your email address within 24 hours. You can also use your points to donate money to your favorite charity or as entries for sweepstakes. Now, it's not big money. I can tell you that right now. You earn 5 points for every search, and it takes 475 points, that's a lot of searches, to get a $5 gift card. And there's also a downside. Microsoft knows everything that you search for, and you're not going to get rich by doing this, but think about it. Use Google a lot, and Google's not paying you a dime. And if you want to, you can sign up over at Microsoft Rewards site. And speaking of money, this is part of the show where we like to have a great conversation with Allie Seligman. She's our amazing content queen over at Commando.com. And Allie, you want to talk about money today, right?
I do. It's time for our new segment, Allie's Finance Corner. No, just kidding.
Oh, gosh. No, please. No.
Well, all right. I have a little story for you.
Okay.
I went to the grocery store, my local store. They make these chicken sausages that are so good. And I've been getting them for years. And I haven't had them in a long time. So I went over to the meat counter. And in my head, I remember, okay, these are $2.99 a pound. And if you're lucky, you get them for $1.99 a pound. That's when you stock up. Well, this past weekend, $5.99 a pound. And
Wow.
I kid you not, I walked away from the meat counter and I whispered to myself under my breath, inflation. So
But, that's a big jump. That's a huge jump.
is.
It is.
It really, really is. And so this has been on my mind. And then I got an email from Retail Me Not. Maybe you've heard of them. They're a coupon site. And they just did a consumer study that I thought had some pretty staggering numbers in it. So 44% of consumers that they surveyed said, I am looking for more coupons and discounts because everything is so expensive. 39% of people said they are actually switching to lower price brands. And then 27% of people said, I am waiting on major purchases. I'm just not going to buy big stuff right now.
Hoping that the price will go down.
Exactly. And we are all feeling it, aren't we? Everything feels more expensive. It's not just my chicken sausages. Now, this is where we get into a little finance lesson. I know you are bouncing up and down in your seat to hear this, but you're going to be smarter. So just stick with me, okay? Everything that we were talking about is based on the Consumer Price Index. It's done by the government, and it's basically how much we pay for the things we pay, and it helps us track inflation and how expensive things have gotten. And over the last 12 months, the Consumer Price Index is up 7.5%. What does that mean for you? Everything you buy is at least 7.5% higher, and specific categories are a lot higher than that.
Well, gas is crazy. I mean, gas.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Why don't we start with gas? Because gas in the last year, gas prices are up 40%. Can you believe that?
I paid I think I paid $5.38 a gallon the other day.
No way.
And I'm sitting there. And then I was trying to fill up the truck. And so it just stopped at $100. And I thought, well, that's really strange. It just stopped at $100. It still wasn't full. Okay. It's at the gas station caps your credit card at $100. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, so 40%.
That is wild. I've never been so happy that I have a hybrid car. I don't have to get gas very often. Well, so for gas, what can you do? Really, apps are your friend here. You need to go out and find where you can find the cheapest prices. And there really is some variance, so it's worth checking. The best recommendation, really, the one that we normally tell you to use, is called Gas Buddy.
Sure.
If you need the link, it's on Commando.com. Search for gas apps and we'll show you. I didn't know this. Fun little fact. Gas Buddy is actually owned by the Yellow Pages.
I didn't, you know what? The Yellow Pages must have purchased them. Because I remember it was like this guy, in the beginning, like, I just want everybody to have best gas prices and stuff like that. But there's also Waze, WAZ from Google. You can get some gas prices there. The worst site to go out for gas prices is like fueleconomy.gov.
Oh gosh, what do they even show you there?
Nothing. It's like, why bother?
There's also an app from AAA that's pretty good. You're never going to remember this name because it's called the AAA Triptych Travel Planner, which is a real mouthful, but we'll put the link up for you on Commando if you want to try a different one than Gas Buddy. Okay, what else is expensive? Food, like I talked about. I found a pretty cool website. It's called mygrocerydeals.com. And so the way grocery apps and websites work basically is you put in whatever you want to buy, and then it'll show you, based on where you live, your zip code, where you can find it the cheapest. The downside of these, they're really based on those sale ads. And so if something's not on sale, it's not going to pop up. But if you are buying something that's a little more expensive, or you just want to do some checking, the grocery store closest to you might not always be the cheapest one. And then one more thing on groceries. If you go to a big grocery chain, they probably have their own app, and it probably has digital coupons that you're not going to see in the store. So that's worth downloading too. Okay, energy. This one is crazy to me. Energy costs are up 27%. So to heat and cool our houses, 27%.
Yeah, just wait till it gets really hot in Phoenix. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a nightmare this summer.
Oh my gosh. I think the highest I've ever had is like a $300 power bill because my house isn't very big, but I'm ready for my, $400 power bill?
Probably will be. Well, the smart thermostats are always a good idea.
Exactly. If you haven't pulled the trigger yet, it might be time because they really will pay for themselves, especially when prices are this high. Now, in general, the trusted numbers are you're going to save like 10 to 12% on heating and about 15% on cooling, which is pretty dang good. And so, depending on which one you get, it'll pay for itself. Now, Nest is one of the most popular. They are so expensive. $250 if you want the, bells and whistles Nest. Ecobee is another popular one. Those are about $200. But if you have an Echo at home or any Alexa products, Amazon actually just released its own, and it's only $50.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They price their stuff really low because they want to get it in your house, right?
Exactly.
They would rather have all the volume.
So they can track it. Now, there's a side benefit to having a Nest thermostat, okay? Is that, for example, there's a family member in my house that likes to keep the air 68 degrees. I'm not kidding you. Ooh. 68 degrees. And so what I do is I go on the Nest thermostat and I turn it up. So when that person turns it down, I turn it back up. And so this was happening, I don't know, sometime last summer. And so he actually filmed the thermostat going up. And he's like, Kim, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with the system. Look at this. I'm like, I think it just needs to be reset. I'll just reset it. And I'm sure. And then a couple of days later, I'm like, has it happened? He's like, no, you must have fixed it. I said, yeah, I do. I did that.
Strange.
How strange. So strange.
The one caveat for the Amazon smart thermostat is it doesn't work very well on different zones or different levels. And so if you're trying to keep the downstairs of your house, one temperature and the upstairs another temperature, it's not for you. You are going to have to go with one of the more expensive options.
Ones. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about all the other stuff you buy? It is treacherous out there. If you've ever Googled coupon codes, you know what a mess. Yes. And I would say for most of us, just don't do it because at best, you're going to end up on a site with a bunch of codes that don't actually do anything. And so you're going to waste your time. At worst, you might end up on a scammy site with links that you really should not be clicking. Here are your best options. I will give you two that I have used and like very much. Honey and Capital One Shopping. So they work really similarly. You can either download these as an app or you can put them as an extension on your browser. If you're not familiar, if you've never done that before, basically a couple clicks, you add it to your browser. And then when you're shopping, if there's a coupon code, it'll just pop right up and you can add it to your cart. So it makes it really easy.
I love Honey. I do. I love it. And I love it because I use it all the time. And the other day I saved $25. I was buying a pair of pants and I'm like, oh, thank you. I mean, it just comes in. It's you don't have to go hunt for those stupid promo codes. Everything's there. All right. So, and then we're going to talk about Amazon, clipping the coupons.
Yes, that's my Amazon reminder. They make it a little tricky. There often are coupons on Amazon, but if you don't click the little box that says click the coupon, you are not going to get the discount. And, it runs through my mind sometimes. How much money do you think people have left on the table because they forget to click it?
Yeah, because, it does say, you can save, but you have to actually check the box. I've often wondered, where do those coupons, it must be manufacturer rebates or something like that. I'm just wondering, where the coupons come from.
That's a good question. I would guess that's part of it. And, they're not going to be sad if people don't click them, but make sure you do. Click the little box and then you'll get the discount. You can also try subscribe and save if there are things that you buy often, but make sure every now and then you go in and check the price because they will adjust the price. They won't alert you to it. It'll just get more expensive for you.
Exactly, which is just nuts. So are you going to write all this up for the website so that everybody can follow along? Because we learned a lot about finance and inflation, the consumer price index. You had a lot of really adult phrases that we just threw out to a lot of people. So you're going to write it all for the website? Yes.
I sure am, yes, over on commando.com. And we will all be much smarter and save some money.
Now, do you remember when, getting air for your tire used to be free at a gas station? You go in there and they say, oh, here, let us check the tires. Now it's $1.50. Do you know why?
Is it really? No, why?
Inflation.
Oh, Kim.
I'm sorry.
Aww.
I'm sorry. Allie, thanks for joining us. As always, great job. And again, if you want to look at all of Allie's now money tips or amazing content, please hit that. It's time now we're going to do a great tip for you, and this week is brought to you by iDrive. Losing your precious family photos or critical business documents due to a hard drive failure is just devastating. I've recommended iDrive for years for their safe and secure cloud backup, and PC Mag has just given iDrive their coveted Editor's Choice Award for the best online backup service. Wow, for 8 years in a row. That's amazing. iDrive is fast, easy to use, affordable, includes generous storage that can be used to back up all of your devices. That includes your PCs, your smartphones, your servers, your Macs, and more, all into one account for one low price. And with their military-grade encryption, state-of-the-art security, you can rest assured that, you don't have to worry about losing access to important data or running out of space. Your data is absolutely safe. Plans start at less than $7 a month, super affordable. And right now, when you use my name, Kim, at checkout, you're going to get 90% off of your first year. Just go to iDrive.com, use my name, Kim. That's iDrive.com, promo code Kim. All right, how would you like to attend MIT, Harvard, Yale, Stanford? You can. Okay, instead of sitting there mindlessly scrolling around on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, do something with your brain. And then you can tell all of your friends that I'm going to Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and you have to say it like that, very pretentious, because you can learn from top university instructors and industry experts at no cost whatsoever. It's all part of what's called MOOC. That's MOOC. It's short for Massive Open Online Courses. So at MOOC.org, you can find over 3,000 free online courses. So whether you're interested in computer science, languages, finance, psychology, education, engineering, writing, electronics, biology, or marketing. So the next time you're, again, just mindlessly scrolling around on the internet, put that noggin to work. I mean, knowledge is power. Learning is fun. The site, again, is MOOC.org, MOOC.org. It reminds me of an old joke. Texas went to an Ivy League party on the East Coast, and a group of women were standing around, and he said, "Howdy, which school did y'all go to?" And they said, one of them said, "Oh, Yale." And he said, "No, I said, which school did y'all go to?" All right, okay, you had to think about that one. All right, stay right where you are. Coming up, we have more of your phone calls you don't want to miss. This portion of the show has been brought to you by RoboForm. Are you tired of writing down passwords? You don't have to. RoboForm makes your life easier and more secure by logging you into every site with just one click. Get 50% off at roboform.com/Kim. That's roboform.com/Kim. Right now we have Tia in Longview, Texas. Hi there, Tia.
Hello, Kim. How are you?
Terrific. What's going on? How can I help you out today?
Okay. I never thought I would be calling my digital goddess.
Well, you did, and here I am.
Since I'm fairly new, I've been listening to your program now for 1 year only. I don't know how I missed it.
I don't know either.
Okay, Kim. I have an issue that I don't know if it's very common or not, but it is a big problem for me. I work in the ER, and I have a neighbor whose dog is barking at night, and I stay up all night because of the bark, and I don't know what to do. I think.
Oh, you're cutting out too. So you have a dog that's barking, and you want to figure out how to make the dog stop barking? Yeah.
Correct. Is there a digital device or something I can buy so I can get some rest? Because I do work long hours in the emergency room.
Yeah. I tell you, well, there are some devices. What they do is they send out a frequency to the dog that the dog doesn't like, and when the dog barks, the frequency gets louder inside their ears. And I'm not sure it will work, but you can certainly try them. And the frequency is louder as the dog gets larger. So if these are really big dogs, you're going to set it up to the highest frequency. There's one that goes to 33 feet. There's another one that goes to 50 feet. And what's interesting about another one that I can point you is that it actually looks like a birdhouse. So when you put it in the tree, it's like it's just a birdhouse. So anyway, I'm going to send you a couple of links to these so that you can buy on Amazon. They're not very expensive. They're about $35, and hopefully it'll work. If that doesn't work, then you can always get yourself a nice set of noise canceling headphones, and those seem to drown out just about everything. But I'll put some links to these to you over inside the Commando community. And thank you for being a relatively new listener to the show. We certainly appreciate that. And the links will be posted at commando.com/community. Thank you, Tia. Coming right up, what you lose in low power mode here on the Kim Commando Show. Okay, it's happened to you. It's happened to me. It's the dreaded moment when your phone is almost dead and then your phone goes into low power mode and you're like, oh, this is great. Okay, well, here's the deal. You use a lot when you're in low power mode. For starters, if your phone is on 5G, it goes to 4G. Your phone's not going to check email or update the news, weather, or other apps. Hey Siri, hey Google, that doesn't work. Your notes, photos, appointments also won't be synced to the cloud until you're at least 80% charged up. And if you need more tips like this, don't forget 24/7. You can always find me online here at commando.com.
Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert!
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Before Shopify, were you wondering, where are my sales at? Now you're selling with Shopify, the global commerce platform supercharging your selling. You have no problem selling online, in person, on social media, and beyond. Gary, easy on the cha-ching.
Oh, sorry, but my Shopify sales are through the roof.
Start selling with Shopify today and discover how millions of businesses around the world use Shopify to ignite their selling. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.